I'm a crochet instructor here in San Antonio, and today I'm going to show you 3 tips and tricks on how you can make your life a lot easier as a crochet beginner. One thing I see as an instructor all the time is people making their stitches way too tight. Here's a way to pull up your loops to make it easier on yourself. If you're ever wondering why your stitches are too tight, it's probably because you're not pulling up your crochet loops. For example, when I do chains, when I do my yarn over and I pull up my loop, most people like to stop right here. You see how tight that is? You're going to have trouble pulling through that. To fix that, I like to explain that your finger is kind of like a seesaw. If you let your finger come down, you can open up that space. If you pull your finger back, it makes that space smaller. So here's how you can control your tension and your loop size. So when you come down to pull your hook through your loop, let your finger follow just a little bit, turn up, and then you want to make sure that you keep your loop up in place. You have to pull your finger back. You see how that yarn's moving? You gotta pull your finger back to let the yarn come through. And that's how you keep your loop open. This is how you do it for chain spacing when you're first starting your work. Obviously that's a little larger than normal, so you want to bring that down just a little bit more. Another thing I find with my students is that they always have trouble finding the first stitch in the row. This is how I typically do it. I do my chain 1, so I yarn over, and then I flip my page to the left like a book. Now, you see how that stitch kind of turns up there? You won't even be able to go in there. Here is your first space you want to insert your hook into. You can turn your work to you. How you see these little V's here? You want to make sure that you're putting your hook into this space. You're going under both of those loops, the front loop and the back loop. Pull up your yarn over and go through both. The last trick I want to show you is if you don't have a stitch marker on hand, you can always use a piece of yarn. Here's how you do it. I'm about to do my first stitch in the row. Put your yarn in there. And do your stitch right over top of that yarn. And now you've marked your first stitch in that row. If you guys liked this video, please give me a like. It really helps me out. Definitely leave me a comment on what you'd like to see in the future. Thanks for tuning in.